Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. If you just recently got yourself one of the all-new 2025 Nissan Armadas, or technically speaking, if you picked up a QX80 as well from Infiniti, you might want to know how to use the infotainment system here with these dual 12.3-inch screens. So in this video, we're going to go through how they work, how you control them, what you can do with the gauge cluster in front of you and the center screen. We're going to show you how to pair up an iPhone and use Apple Carplay and Android Auto, and try to just answer any questions you might have about the system. And if you're maybe searching for this car, you can get a little bit of an evaluation, decide if it's something that you'd like to use on a daily basis. So first things first, I highly recommend, if you did just get yourself one of these or you're spending extended time in it, stop in a parking lot like this or your driveway somewhere safe and spend time, play around with it, watch along with the video or experiment on your own and figure out how to use your vehicle. You'll be more comfortable with it and you'll enjoy it more out on the road. And also, if you do want to see more on the system, sign up below to become a Daily Motor member. I'm recording a lot of different videos on this car. We've got sort of a real-world use case review in a lot of different environments, and we've got a sound system test on this Klipsch audio system, so you can find that all linked below. Before we start off in the gauge cluster in front of us, let's look around at some of our controls. On the steering wheel, we have two sets of haptic controls. You actually push down on the button. Oh, that's going to start our music, isn't it? But then you can also, these can change depending on what you're doing with it. I think if we turn the cruise control on, do we get any different buttons? No, okay. But they do light up and they work decently well. They're controlling cruise control here on the left side, volume, track selection over on the right. And then this is important to know. This is a trick feature of this car. You see these two icons right here. When this is lit up on the left, then this scroller knob and this directional pad is controlling this screen in front of us. So we can toggle through and we'll show you all those menus here in a moment. However, if you press this, then this directional pad is controlling the center touch screen. So I can actually make my way around this center touch screen and control different elements of it without taking my hands off the wheel. Some people are going to find this useful, some people are going to find this frustrating, but I actually do kind of like it. There are certain situations in which I don't want to reach all the way forward because this screen is pretty far away and I can just control things with the steering wheel. And then you've also got a back button and a voice control button right there, which we'll show you later on in the video. Over on the left side, you've got electronic parking brake, auto hold functionality, which if it's on will hold the car at a stop if you press and hold the brake for a few seconds. Lane keeping functionality and a button to open up the trunk lift gate. Coming over to the right side, we see an integrated trailer brake controller, like seeing that. And then a lot of physical controls for volume, track selection, camera control, like having a button to bring that up very quick. Look at that slick design there. That looks good. And then a bunch of physical climate controls as well. A drive mode selector, four-wheel drive mode selectors, rear diff lock, traction control, your gear selection, auto height control, and automatic stop-start. And then a wireless device charger down here with two USB-C ports and your cup holders. Starting off here in front of us with this 12.3-inch screen for the gauge cluster. Like I said earlier, we control it with this directional pad. There are quite a few different screens you can choose from. Right now, this is our home screen. It's giving us a compass and the music that's playing, and no scrolling able right there. Before we cycle through the center screens, I should point out that on the top, we have a clock and outside temperature. Bottom left, engine coolant temperature. Moving along the bottom, odometer, distance to empty, and then a fuel gauge. And then within the center, on the left, you have a tachometer with your gear selection. And then over on the right, you have an analog speedometer and then a digital speedometer within that. Now you can customize those gauges a little bit. I'll show you that here in a moment. But let's use the directional pad to move along to the right. We bring up a vehicle information screen. Starting on the top, you're going to get a drive computer. That's showing you your average fuel economy, speed, time since reset, and distance since reset. You can press down on the OK button, change that over to an auto, or a manual 1, or a manual 2, and if you press and hold it, then you can reset either any of those individual items or all of the items. Scrolling down, we see just fuel economy for both auto, manual 1, and manual 2. Off-road information, I like to see this. It shows you your pitch and yaw, and then what's going on with the shocks on all four corners. Scrolling down once more, we see height control. This Pro 4X model has automatic height control, and you can see, I don't think you can manually choose which height you're on, but you can at least see which height you're on. That's kind of cool. Continuing over to the right, you've got tire pressure monitoring, auto stop start information. It shows you how much fuel you've saved. That's kind of cool. And all-wheel drive torque, whether it's going to the front or the rear. It's kind of interesting this isn't back on the previous screen, but either way, that's where you find it. A map, this is nice to have. If you're driving around using your navigation, it'll show you your next turn, or just a little Google Map readout. Nice to have. Information for what media source is playing, what song, etc. Scrolling over one more time, you get readouts for your active safety functionality. So we've got forward collision control, lane departure alert, and blind spot monitoring. We can hit OK and turn on or off some of those functionalities. Scrolling down, we see information for our adaptive cruise control, and then speed limit signs. As we drove by a speed limit sign, it would bring it up right there. Then on the last screen is your settings. Let's go into there. First, we see driver assistance. You can adjust so many of these different driver assistance functionalities, such as your intelligent cruise control. You can have it adjust the speed based on the route. You can have it manually or change the speed limit for a certain offset, or do it automatically based on the signs it sees. Lane centering assist, do you want the steering to automatically help you? Lane assist, do you want warning, intervention, and the sensitivity for that? Same for blind spot assist, emergency assist, traffic sign assist, parking assist. Look at all of these. I mean, you can really customize this car. I kind of appreciate that. Auto show sonar, sonar volume, moving objects, driver monitor. Do you want it to alert you if you're not paying much attention to the road? Low temperature alert, chassis control, trace control. Oh, wouldn't we want that to be on? All right, I think that's going to help it kind of be a little bit more nimble in the corners. Coming back, then you got eco mode settings. Eco customize. Okay, the cruise. So this is how dramatically it's going to adjust things in eco mode. Do you want it to adjust the cruise control, the idling stop, and the air conditioning? I want those all on. Eco drive assist. Do you want it to give a little report at the end with how economically you've driven? Tire pressure eco advice. Okay, so if your tire pressure is low, it'd let you know that you could get better fuel economy with different tire pressures. You can change your TPMS unit. You can turn the clock on or off. Interesting. I don't know why you'd want that off, but maybe because you think it looks a little crisper. Then in vehicle settings, power back door, if you want the power liftgate on or off. Under lighting, you can have a welcome headlight come on. Oops, we've exited all the way out. Vehicle settings. Under locking, selective unlock, horn beeps unlock, auto door unlock when you shift to park or when your ignition is off. Why is it going all the way back to the main screen? Approach unlock, exit door, exterior door switch on or off. And ooh, I like walk away lock. Let's turn that on as well. Wipers, rain sensing wiper, reverse link. So when you put the car in reverse, it'll swipe the rear reverse or the rear windshield wiper. Drip wipe after you've run the auto wipers there. Do you want it to get one more to get the drips off? Driving position. Do you want the seat to slide back and the steering wheel to slide forward when you turn the car off? I don't, so I have those off. Rear door alert. If you choose this on, it'll let you know if you've, I actually don't exactly know, if you've closed or opened the rear door maybe since you've gotten out of the vehicle. Mirrors. Ooh, let's turn, unfold at unlock. Okay, that's what we want. A lot of different vehicle settings there. Towing settings, all right? If you're going to be doing towing, you're going to want to go in here and look at some of these. What do we have? Trailer light check. That's nice to have. It'll flash all the lights. Trailer information. You can change the trailer length for different blind spot monitoring settings. Good to have that. You can also put a trailer in there for the blind spot warning. Maintenance. You can see your current oil level, oil control system when you need to have an oil change, your tire information when you should rotate them. Other, you can set a different maintenance reminder. Suspension. Okay, system will automatically turn on in the vehicle. Interesting. Okay. Customized display. This is what I wanted to show you. You can change the meter view. If you click that, then it gets rid of the analog gauges and honestly looks quite a bit crisper. I think I'll leave it like that for now because I think it's going to make our map display larger in the center. It might not look as nice, but I think it's going to be a little bit more functional. Main menu selection. What one do you want that to start on when you get in the car? That's actually kind of cool. And also, no, this is actually what menus show up in the main menu at all. So say, for example, you never use the compass. You could simply disable that, and then it'll never pop up. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, and the vehicle has turned itself off in order to save battery. We're turning it back on. Back under customized display, let's see route guidance. No, we don't want any alerts. We'll go back. ProPilot Assist display. We're going to turn that off because I get frustrated when it changes menus for me. welcome effect. You could turn that animation or sound on or off. Operation guidance. Okay, all right. So a lot of different functionalities there. Then you can also change your units, and if you mess it up royally, you can factory reset everything. So that's the center screen. A lot of information going on there, a lot of useful screens and functionality. Yeah, look at that nice big map now. When it blacks things out, it looks pretty cool. Making our way over to the center 12.3-inch display. Technically, these are practically combined, but you see there's a little split there in the middle. And let's bring it home to see essentially this home screen. Now, this is interesting because this is an Android Automotive-based system, but Nissan has this skin on it. And I'm not a huge fan of some of the blocky, sharp edges that Nissan chose, but it is kind of cool seeing this background where the screens are kind of floating. You see a little bit of shadow underneath to kind of make this sort of stage display. It does look kind of cool. I got to give them that. Android Automotive-based systems are some of my favorite infotainment systems on the market because they're so powerful and can do so many great voice controls. I'll show you later on here in the video. But on this home screen, you see top left, you've got a clock, a little notifications icon that you can bring up notifications, quick toggles to kind of a quick settings screen right here, and then also a main settings screen. And this is kind of what I mean right here, this sharp edge. Just as the screens are loading, it doesn't look very classy. But once things load up, it looks nice. Down along the bottom, you have this persistent menu that's showing you your interior climate control setting. You can see that adjusting there. And then different hot toggle menus. So we'll get to all of those here in a moment. And then you can customize how your main screen looks here. So you can see right now we've got navigation, media, and then phone. But I'm never going to use this phone screen. So I might instead put something like, My Q Garage. Okay, so if you had a My Q Garage door opener, you're probably going to want this to be on the main screen. Press and hold. And then I'm going to move all the way over to the main screen, bump out that. Now I'm going to be able to open and close my garage door nice, quick, and easy from right there. Or I also might use something like the dash cam. Or, even better, here, the camera. Bring this up to the front. Now, if I swap that in there and go back home, now you can see, did I need to hit save or something? There we go, you got to hit save. Now, okay, so I'm driving along and I'm pulling up to a curb or something. I could press this physical button, or I could go right here to go to the specific camera angle I want right at that moment. That's pretty clever because you're going to want different camera angles for different situations. And say, for example, you just press this, it's going to show you this 360 layout, but maybe that's not what I want. Maybe I wanted to go straight to the curb view or something like that. So that's kind of cool to have. I like that customization aspect there. But then, as you saw, you can slide through and get to those different screens. You could also add a screen right there. But let's start by going across the bottom. Press this, and you get to a quick toggle of the driver's seat controls. So I could turn on heated or ventilated seats or heated steering wheel or my temperature, which, mind you, can do from right here physically too, but they've given you that in the screen. Then next you have the map. Now the other cool thing about Android Automotive-based systems is this is a full Google map system. So you can see right now we've got the satellite view, we've got previous navigation waypoints that people have put in here. And if this were synced up to your Google account, you could see things like your home and your work and your frequently searched addresses. You could even do something like get an address from your computer at home and then send it to your car and just have it ready to go. So I could do actually we'll show you more actual navigation later on with the voice controls, but look how responsive this is. Pinch and zoom works great. I mean, this is so much better than using some built-in navigation system in a car that isn't just straight up Google Maps like this. I really, really appreciate it. You can even get the live traffic readouts. You can see the green on the highways here showing me that traffic is flowing. Yellow over here, traffic is not flowing quite as well. Very nice. Continuing on the bottom, we have the media screen, and it brought me to Android Auto, but if you press that again, then it shows you different media sources. Here's Sirius XM, for example. Taking up a good bit of the screen. We can see our favorites along the bottom. You can go to classic vinyl, and then you're seeing, actually, I don't think, do we not have? Oh, we do, okay, yeah. Our various screens and various channels, see what song is playing. Let's take a look again at sources. Let's go to something like FM. There you go, your various FM stations that are available to us. Continuing along at the bottom, this is your phone projection. We'll skip that for now. This is your home screen. Then you got climate after this. This will bring up a climate screen, which allows you to turn the AC on or off, or bring it to auto, or more importantly, control the rear HVAC controls. You could turn that on and control the climate back there. Then continuing on, you get this little square icon, the 4 squares. These are essentially all of your apps. I'm actually going to start the car up just to make sure our battery doesn't run too low here. So these are all of your apps on the car, and it shows you recently used ones up at the top. So let's just go through in the order that they're in. System information, we can click on this and see pretty much nothing really important, just version, license information for the infotainment system. Then you have a dash cam, and I absolutely love that Nissan is integrating this with the Armada, because that's something that Tesla's been doing for a while, and I haven't understood why more cars aren't just including built-in dash cams. Well, we finally have that. Not only do we have front and rear, but we also have an inside camera. So you see, that's me sitting here with the camera on my forehead showing you the inside. And this is always recording if you have it enabled. So if I were to have an accident, then I could show Nissan, hey, this is what happened. This is the bozo who ran into me. You can view the files right here, and it'll show you all of the previous dash cam info. So let's click, what is this right here? Oh, is this just an image? Okay. Somebody has saved some images on here. Now, it doesn't seem like the file system is super fast, but that's okay. What's general videos? Oh, wow, look at this. This must be the actual... This is like the Nissan factory or something like that where this car was built. Haha, look at that. That's cool. Look at it driving away. Look at all the cool Nissan vans. Huh. Now it says this was in 2026, but I'm sure the date just hadn't been set properly. Look, it shows you if your blinkers were on, if you're on the gas or the brake, if your lights were on. Wow, that's cool. This must have been like a little check off. This is probably some Nissan proving ground track that you're probably not even supposed to be able to see. That's funny. Can we skip forward? Yep. Huh. 9/9/2024. Ooh, now these are events. Okay. Look at this. It was actually this car was actually being tested. Make sure it wasn't squeaky, rattly, anything like that. Wow. Wait, is there one on the front? FR. Okay. So the system was actually recording this as maybe some sort of crash event because all this dramatic shaking around probably. But maybe it does an emergency stop or something. Look at those mountains in the background. That's cool. Showing is it the back? No, it's the front seats. What, is the car getting shipped or something like that? That's funny. Okay, so I'm kind of getting carried away here, but that's it's cool to have the dash cam built in, and it's kind of cool to just see. Oh, is this an employee wrapping the car up? That's funny. Okay, let's get back on track here. I could spend a long time in there. Anyway, cool that we got the built-in dash cam. Now, MyQ Garage, I showed you that earlier. If you've got a MyQ Garage door opener, you can link it up with the car and be able to open and close and see the status of your garage door from the vehicle. Amazon Alexa, you can use Amazon Alexa in the car if you sync it up with your Amazon account. Google Play Store, this is going to be how you install new applications for either audio or other functionalities, because this is an Android Automotive-based system. Google Assistant, we'll try that out later with voice controls. Saw Google Maps. Nissan Connect services, you're going to sign into the car and be able to do things like remote start and lock the vehicle, everything from there. I already saw Amazon Alexa. User profile, you can set up a profile in here, save your seat settings, your climate control settings, etc. Interior light, no customizable ambient lighting in here, interestingly, just a different brightness level of a white light that you can choose. GPS position, pretty straightforward. Saw system information. Now, okay, let's get into settings. We're not going to go through every nitty-gritty setting in here, but I'll try to show you what's important. Connections, we're going to see that later on when we pair up a phone. You can do a few different random settings with your phone. Under General and Sound and Beeps and Sound, this is going to be where you control your bass, mid-range, and treble, different audio settings. Volume, your different media volumes, guidance volume, call volumes, etc. This is important to me. Beeps, if you want the screen to make a beep and a click sound when you press things, you can do that, but I prefer to have that off. Coming on back under clock, this is going to be how you change clock settings. The car will automatically set the clock for you though based on GPS. I recommend you use that. Under system, you can change languages between English, French, and Spanish. You can also change some keyboard settings there. System updates, if you connect the vehicle to a Wi-Fi network, you can get updates for the system. Under About, you can see which version of Android it's running, security patches, build numbers, etc. Under Legal Information, same thing right there. Reset options, if you go to sell your Armada, you're going to want to use that to reset all the settings, get your personal information out of there. What do we got under Android Auto? Okay, just more version information and more system updates. Under Storage, you can see how much space you've got left on the system. Units, you can change your distance and temperature units. Location, this is pretty much just going to be to allow access to your location services. Steering wheel control menu highlight. Auto hide. I'm going to be 100% honest with you folks. I don't know 100% what that does. Okay, coming back. Moving down through the settings to display. You can turn the display totally off right here. After a moment, I think will it fully go away, or is that, okay, that's what it considers to be off, but it keeps the rest up. All right, fair enough. Maybe a little bit easier on your eyes. Tap to bring it up to life. You can choose between day and night modes, although it doesn't really seem to be doing much, does it? And then background theme. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. So we were on sand theme. You can also choose shade. Ooh, that looks nice with this Pro 4X trim, or live. No, live doesn't seem to be blending as well, does it? Maybe it needs a moment. Oh, okay. That looks a little bit better. But that does not. So maybe that's something that would figure itself out after I reset the vehicle, but we're going to go back to, we're going to do shade for a while. I like that. Coming back, we can do vehicle settings, camera, ultra-wide camera, we got that on, automatic 360 moving, you can change your vehicle color, okay. Coming back, dash cam, we want that auto recording everything right now. Climate control settings, airflow intensity. I would like that to be low. Auto recirc on or off, recirc sensitivity. Do that 3, auto defrogging, biometric cooling. All right, so this is a functionality that Nissan and Infiniti were bragging about. I'm kind of surprised it made it to the Nissan, though, because I thought this was going to be an Infiniti-only feature. But it actually uses a sensor in the back seat, and if it senses that your rear passengers are becoming warm, if their skin is warming up, it'll automatically start providing extra air conditioning. Heated steering wheel sensitivity, driver auto seat sensitivity, a lot of different functionalities with sensitivities there. Under seat, front power seat adjustment. So you can, if you're interested, manually adjust the seats here from the screen instead of using the controls. But you can't do that on the passenger, interestingly. Power folding rear seats. You can also fold the third row from right here. It's interesting that that's so buried in the settings. Interior light. All right, we saw that earlier. Coming back in. Users. You can add or remove users from the vehicle from there. Customize menus. Home menu. We already saw that. Apps menu, audio sources, background theme. Saw that earlier as well. So just a few more ways to customize the vehicle. Man, there's more. Apps and notifications. Active voice assistant. You can choose between Google Assistant and Alexa. Nothing really more too important there. Privacy, security, Google accessibility. That's all going to be pretty unimportant stuff there. Okay, let's test out some voice commands. You can use the voice commands in two different ways. You can either press this button or say OK and then Google. But I'm not going to use that functionality because that's going to trigger my phone as well. So I'm just going to use the button. Navigate to the nearest Starbucks.
Starbucks. All right.
Look at that. Look how quickly and easily that works. No saying, pick a line number between 1 and 4. Are you sure you want to go? Nope, it simply does it. And then I can just do add Taco Bell to my route.
There's a Taco Bell 3.4 miles away. Want to navigate there?
Sure. I mean, that's how navigation should be. That's awesome. Then, cancel navigation. And there it's done. And you can also use it...
Stopping navigation.
Okay, a little bit of a delay there. You can also use it for other functionalities, like tell me a joke. I don't know why that didn't work. Tell me a joke.
What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear.
Ha. And I think you can do reminders, too. Remind me about milk in 5 minutes.
For help with that, first you'll need to allow personal results in this car.
Okay.
When it's safe, you can go ahead and make the change in it.
So if I were actually logged into my Google account and I had everything fully set up, then I'd be able to use that functionality. Oh, can we do climate controls? I'm cold.
Routines aren't currently supported on this device.
That's not what I said. I didn't say I'm home. I'm cold.
Sorry, I can't control that in this car.
I think you can. Set the climate control to 62 degrees.
Sure, changing the auto climate control to the coldest.
Okay, so not only was that not the coldest, but it also wasn't 62 degrees. That's weird, but it did put it on auto. Huh. And it turned the rear on, which we're going to have to turn off by going here, here, there. Okay. Now let's show you how to pair up an iPhone, and I'm just now realizing that I forgot my iPhone at home. So, we will drop that footage in now. Now we've got our trusty iPhone 13 mini. We're going to go in the car screen to this, the settings up here. Go to connections, add device, and then on the iPhone, we're going to go to the settings screen, go to Bluetooth, and then scroll down at the bottom. You see Armada or some similar name. Get a pairing request. We're going to hit pair, allow, and then turn on Wi-Fi and connect to CarPlay if your Wi-Fi were off. And then in the car, would you like to use Apple Carplay with this device? I'm choosing yes. And just like that, Apple CarPlay is connected. We see taking up the same area of the screen that some of the settings screens did. You can see we've got Google Maps on the left and media on the right. Click here, we've got our home screen, or our app screen, I should say. Various applications installed. Let's open up Spotify. This is how your Spotify is going to look. Your now playing screen right there. You can go back home, and then you can see media down there on the right. So open up Google Maps. Really responsive here. I like the resolution on the screen as well. Very nice. Now let's show you how to use Android Auto. We've got our Pixel 9 Pro synced up wirelessly. Go right here and we see Android Auto, not to be confused with Android Automotive, which is the system that the vehicle is running. But you see our home screen taking up most of the main 12.3-inch screen. We've got Google Maps on the left at a lower resolution rather, and then media on the right. If we click Google Maps here, bring it up full screen, we can move around, pinch to zoom, put in addresses, etc. Let's bring up YouTube Music. Let's hit the downloads, see what we're getting today. Some Nightwish. So that's how it looks when you're on the main media screen, split screen, and then you go home and it stops them right there. And if we go back home to the main Nissan screen, you can see you still get your media there in the center. Alright, so there it is, the infotainment system here in the Nissan Armada. Despite a few bugs, I'm a pretty big fan of it. Maybe for 2026 model year, it'll be a little bit more ironed out, but either way, a strong system, a functional system, and one that I think befits the car. Is there anything else you want to see? Let me know in the comments. I'll try to get to it. And if you want to see more on the Armada, check the link below. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on. bye.